Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to my living space. It's relatively tidy, sort of. I feel really good about myself today because I used a new shampoo that has just revitalised my hair and made it massive. So yeah, along with my hair, my self-esteem has inflated. Just gonna zoom in a little bit. There we go. Today I'm doing a homeware haul, but I use that term loosely. Everything I'm going to hold up I have been buying over about 2 years. I knew I was going to be moving out at some point, so I was sort of buying things in preparation for moving. So I didn't buy this all in one go. Now, first of all, I have to address the fact that I never thought I would do any form of homeware stuff. Whilst I love art, colour and open spaces, the idea of dressing a space or buying stuff to fill a space specifically has never appealed to me. It's not been on my radar because I've never had my own place. So that's actually been quite exciting, experiencing that passion for the first time. I have to be honest that whilst I do have a sense of colour, everything has to match, I don't really have a colour scheme for my place. There's so many different colours in this room that it sometimes makes me want to be sick. I have red curtains, I have grey windowsills, I have beige flooring, different colour brown furniture, orange sofas. It's a right mismatch. It could be worse. For me right now, it's not necessarily buying things to make everything look neat and tidy, it's just buying for necessity. In the last year or so, I have seen so many hauls and they all tend to be very focused on a specific type of style, specific stuff, brand new stuff. And that's not me. I'm all over the place, but I don't mind that. So yeah, everything beside me is random, and when it sort of settles in with everything behind me and around the flats, it's all mismatched, but I am happy, and that's the most important point. So with that long introduction, let's do this. You can tell I'm in a good mood. Gosh, my hair is so big. Every jump cut, it's... First of all, let's start with some boring stuff. Well, I don't find it boring, but you might find it boring. I found this about a year ago. It's supposed to be for tins in a cupboard, so when they're up top, you can actually see everything on the shelf. So there is a bit of wasted space here, but overall, it just makes it easier to organise. I ended up finding something else that was far more useful that I will show you later. So this became a bit redundant, but I'm trying to still make use of it. So this has been on my kitchen top there, and I've had my sugar, tea, coasters on top. So as you know, I went to the land of IKEA, but I didn't actually tell you what I bought. One of the things I bought were plastic picnic plates, but not for picnic use, for domestic everyday use. I am not a fan of China, in the sense that China the material. Why do I hate China? Why am I terrified of China? 2 reasons. One, because it chips easier. These don't chip. And I cut myself several times washing up China that's chipped. And the other thing is I am terrified of chipping my teeth on China mugs, because I've done that in the past. I have a chipped tooth and I chipped off even more of my tooth sipping some hot chocolate once. I just don't want that to happen again. So I do have some China mugs, but overall I don't like China. So these seemed perfect colours. I don't like the grey too much, but I like the blue and pink. Those are my favourite colours, by the way, as you will probably tell by the end of this haul. They were inexpensive as well, which was good. So around Christmas time, I started donating lots of my stuff to charity, and I donated to lots of charity shops, but one particular store had a cashback system. So when I donated a whole bag, I was given £2 off my next purchase. And because I donated so much, I accumulated something like £30 at that charity shop, £30 to spend. So I've bought lots of things in that charity shop, but technically I haven't bought them. I got them for free because of that. You know, save money. This is one of those things. I found this for £2. Well, free, but £2. Eventually, I want to buy one of those coat stands to go inside my front door. That or some hooks and a table. I haven't quite made my mind up yet. But again, it's not a priority right now. But in the time being, apart from this, I have nothing else to hang my stuff on. So this has become an absolute lifesaver. I hang all my coats and scarves on this. At the moment, this has a home on my bedroom door. and it just sort of blends in. I'm so happy with that purchase. Now in the last year, I have become quite fond of silverware. I don't know why, I don't know where this passion came from, but it's appeared in my life and I'm endorsing it. And I bought these two things. This is more of a, well, I intend to put my keys on it when I come through my front door, but I haven't got a table in the hallway yet. That's what I want it for. And then this, I'm currently putting my hairbrushes in on my makeup. I say makeup table, but I don't have a table yet. My makeup mess. I love stuff like this. Pots, bowls. Now this I found about 3 years ago for £1 in a garden centre near where I lived. It was discounted because it was on its own, loads of random mugs. Luckily it has a name on the bottom so I can go and trace them down and buy some more. But I like this because the rim is really thin, so I'm not too worried when I drink from it. The only thing is this is not dishwasher safe. I can't say dishwasher. It's not dishwasher safe. But I don't currently have a dishwasher, so it doesn't matter. Still, I absolutely love that. I wish I had more. Next, I have some stuff from the Hummingbird Bakery. Last summer, I worked with the Hummingbird Bakery, and at the end of the day, they gave us loads of free stuff, which just happened to be colours that I loved. Love. Now I'm on my own, I intend to do more baking, and I'm getting into bake-off as well, so I'm feeling inspired. So one day I'll put a cake of sorts in there, but no, I like the tins. I also like them because they don't have massive advertising on the side. A kitchenware and appliance company that I like the look of is Smeg. However, they have the word Smeg written over everything, so that's annoying, but I love their stuff. And before I forget, this is the other tin. But it didn't stop there. Hummingbird Bakery gave me a lot of stuff. They gave me loads of kitchenware things like this. They gave me some ceramic cake forks. I'm going to use those at my housewarming party. And they gave me a cake slicer. As you can see, I've not used any of that yet. I've been saving this for so long. And the last thing they gave me were tea towels. Quite cotton, rough, but still pretty. As you can probably tell, so far there is a colour scheme of silver, pink, white, and a tad of brown. Maybe a bit of cream thrown in, those sorts of colours. Eventually, I want to paint the place, but that's quite far down the line. I'm not really thinking about it yet. But no, I don't intend to paint every room pink. But I do have a tin of pink paint to use at some point. But I am thinking ahead. Pink is a colour I adore, and blue, so maybe I'll paint the bathroom blue. From experience, over the last, I don't know, 6-7 years, I find that lit spaces, white spaces, are far more calming for me. If you paint a room a colour, even if it's like beige or grey, the room tends to feel smaller, at least to me it does. I'm quite happy with the colour in here. It's slightly the wrong hue, it's slightly too cream, too beige, so I need a more silvery white, but still, overall, you can tell I'm an artist. The next thing, I don't even know what to call these. Baking, I should know. Baking bowls. I found these in a charity shop about 6 months ago. They were doing a homeware sale just to get rid of all their stuff. And I saw this and fell in love. I don't know what it is. There's something about smaller versions of big things we use that is appealing, satisfying. There's a scientific reason as to why, but I can't think of it right now. But still, I live on my own. That's enough for 2 meals in there, 2 shepherd's pies. I've yet to do a shepherd's pie. I keep forgetting to buy corn. The next things make me so happy. I love them so much. Salt and pepper pots. They sort of match my get-up today. Yes, I am aware I keep looking at myself in my viewfinder, just checking that I'm still recording. I'm saying so much in a short amount of time. If my camera was to stop, I'd miss so much. I found these about 3 months ago, just before I moved. It felt like fate. Originally, they were supposed to be £3 for the both of them, but I ended up talking to the person in the shop. I think it was Mind Charity I bought these from, and he was so lovely and generous that he cut down the price to £1.50, half price. So, thank you, man in Mind Charity. I appreciate it. And again, it's a miniature version of something we use every day, so it appeals to my nature, I suppose. Although I don't like typical tea, black tea with milk. I am drinking so much herbal tea that I guess you could say that I am a tea fan now. For a long time, I made it very clear that I hated tea. I may be British, I may live in the United Kingdom, but I do not like tea. But I didn't realise how vast the land of tea actually was. We've got milk. I don't like milk. I know. Although saying that though, I had red bush tea this week and I put milk in it and it tasted okay. I was expecting it to taste foul, but no, Alex, good recommendation. Thank you. Anyway, love 'em. Now last September I was in Portsmouth, and if you've ever been to Portsmouth, there are so many vintage shops. It's incredible. Go and have a look. However, there was one shop that I absolutely adored, and I think I mentioned it in a thrift haul video a couple of months ago. It was this one. It had everything. It was ginormous. So many different sections, books, kitchenware, clothes, musical instruments. And I fell in love with the homeware section. So I bought some basic things like a tin opener, potato peeler, a few big spoons. It was so long ago, I've waited so long to share this stuff. The first thing I bought were 2 bowls like this. The other one's in the sink. They're from a company called Zach Designs. And they're not cheap plastic. You can't put them in the microwave, that's a negative. But I love the colour. It might look red on there, but it's like a dark pink. They stack well, they're durable, they're a good size. Yeah, oh, and they're plastic, yeah. The next thing I found in that shop were 10 of these for £1. That's 10 pence a cup. And as somebody that prefers to use plastic over mugs, bargain. And they're my favourite colour, so hooray. Okay, I found that. I think this was about £1, just under £1. Again, bargain, good colour. I didn't know what I would use this for. This sat in a cupboard for 6-7 months. It has a home now. This goes on the back of my kitchen door, living room door, and I put my apron, my dressing gown, and the rucksack I use every day on that door, on this. So that's that. The next thing is another one of those adult purchases that makes your life 10 times easier, but isn't really that exciting. Stands. Because of the size and width of my cupboards, I've had to buy different stands for different cupboards. But this is my cupboard layout, I suppose. This shelf in particular is my favourite because it has no mesh, nothing falls through it, and this one goes in my fridge, but I have lots of different shelvings. I found that exciting, putting all that together. Again, I think it's the aspect of organisation. Rebecca talking about organisation, being organised. That's alien in itself. Going back to the Salvation Army, I bought some bowls. These were free as well. I did actually have one of these when I was living in London, but it got dropped when I came back to Essex. That was heartbreaking. So when I saw these, yes! Again, I love the colour scheme. I don't mind bowl china, it's just mug china I'm terrified of. But no, these go in the microwave and the dishwasher, so can't say that. So that's good. Then we get on to cutlery. Yes, I know, I know the knife was there. You might not believe it, but it's been 7 years since I was at university. 7 years. Please be quiet. I hate children. I hate children with a passion. They're scary. When I went to university, I bought the cheapest set of cutlery I could find from Asda's, and I kept that cutlery for years. Years and years. And I hated it. It was hard to hold, awkward, sharp, but not in a good way. But in life, sometimes you buy something and it lasts a lot longer than what you expect. So had I known that cutlery would stick with me for 7 years, I would have bought something a bit more advanced, I suppose. I mean, I'm grateful to have any cutlery, but still. I think it was my 21st birthday, my mum bought me this cutlery set from John Lewis. I was living on my own at the time, so I only needed one set. And I love this set so much. But John Lewis don't make it anymore. They only make it in blue and fluorescent colours. So that's sad. I want pink. And then when we were going through all the boxes in the garage, my mum found an entire box of cutlery that we'd forgotten about, that my mum bought us when we were about, I don't know, 18, for our future. We like the cutlery so much. So she gave me the entire box. So I have cutlery. That was a very long-winded story. So technically I didn't buy the cutlery, but that's where the cutlery came from. My mum and I love it. It's not pink, but it's nice to hold. It's heavy, but not too heavy. The knife is a little bit too long for me. I need to like chop off an inch. I'm very tiny, you know, things like this, they really make a difference. That story was harder to tell because of the kids screaming, but I got there in the end, didn't I? The next thing is probably the thing I've had the longest. This I bought when I was in New York in 2011. I can't remember the name of the shop, but it was one of those quirky kitchenware shops where you're absolutely astounded by everything and you want everything, but you don't need everything, of course. Very ingenious stuff. So I took them to university, I took them to film school, and they've been in a cupboard for about 3 years, waiting to be used. So now I have a reason to use them. I've already used them with my brother and Alex. They're basically little donut coasters. It just makes me so happy that after all this time, they're being used for the purpose they were intended. You know, part of me wanted to hang them on the walls like decoration. Oh, we have another bowl from the Salvation Army. That's been so handy. We have a stall. Now I have to be honest, I found this. The bin situation downstairs is horrific. We don't do recycling here, we do basic recycling, which means that everyone in the complex doesn't bother dealing with their rubbish. They don't even go to the tip, they just dump it all in the shed downstairs. And there's been so many things that have just been left there that people could use, that you could donate to charity. Someone actually left about 6 vases in there last week and I said to myself, what? They're just going to be recycled. Somebody could actually use that, you know, take them to the charity shops up the high street, which is what I'm going to do. They're on my windowsill right now. Obviously, when you're taking things, you have to be careful. Furniture especially, you never know what's happened to it. I don't think I've ever mentioned this on YouTube before, but when I lived at Denmark Hill, we dealt with bed bugs because of next door. But they put their mattress on the balcony and then all hell broke loose. So when you see a mattress at the side of the road, So I found this. It's a footstool from Dunelm. Can't say that, Dunelm. Sounds Essex, Dunelm. And this is perfect. You know when you find something and you're just like, oh my gosh, this was made for me. Colour-wise, I love it, but no, when my tripod is at its lowest and I sit on the floor, it's the wrong height for me. But yeah, if I sit on this, I'm suddenly the correct height for the tripod, so that's great. And it has its own home, it fits, it's just, I'm too happy about this. I am a gleaner. I do get distressed when I see people throw out things that still have use. I'm not talking about general rubbish, I mean things that literally are either brand new or don't need to go to the tip or whatever, because it still has an entire life ahead of it. It's why I love charity shops so much. I love recycling, making use of things. I prefer to wear vintage jewellery than brand new jewellery because it has a history, and I feel like I'm continuing on that history and looking after stuff. Yeah. So that's just an example. Ow, oh, that was my knee. Oh, I found that. I found this plant pot for £1 in Portsmouth. Brilliant. Those are all my incense sticks, which I haven't burnt yet. I don't know if I can, because I have, oh, that smells nice. Because I have a fire alarm over there. I just don't want to call a fire engine. Oh, that smells really nice. Oh, it's that. Rose, there you go. No wonder I love it. There are other things that I have bought over the course of not just the last 2 years, but the last 5 years or so, that I can talk about in the future, but I think that's enough stuff for one go, for one video. I don't know if you can tell, but I am super happy, and not just because of materialistic objects, but what they represent. I'm in my own place and I'm sort of building up my life, that sort of stuff. So that's exciting. Looking at the stuff in front of me, I think the majority of it has either been given to me or I have bought it secondhand or found it secondhand. And I know lots of people think that's tacky or cheap, but that's how I live my life, and I love doing that. I truly recommend secondhand shopping, charity shopping, thrift store shopping, because there are so many bargains. There's such wonderful things that everyone disregards that need homes, so I prefer that. Okie dokie, I am now going to go, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone. I should note that I have my pyjama bottoms on. Lots of my vlogs are filmed in my pyjama bottoms. Why not? You don't tend to see them. I'm still sort of recovering from this week with my back. I got that as well.
Hooray!